Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fan Talk with yours truly, Kyle Berenchley. Man, we have a lot to talk about this week, so I'm not going to waste any time. This has been a very fantastic week for sports. And today, something big happened. Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. We'll talk about the trade details and what the three teams are getting. We'll talk about the NFL, of course. We'll break down some big news with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and look ahead to some more fun matchups here in week 4. All right. Fan Talk is a podcast you can find on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. I usually post to YouTube first, so go check me out at Kyle Berenchley. Spotify and iHeartRadio is usually a couple days later, just the nature of me putting it out there. Go follow me on Instagram at kbrench and leave a like and a comment down below. Please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers before the end of September, and we only have about 3 days left. And yeah, we're not doing very well. So please, please go subscribe if you haven't already. Okay, so biggest story today. Today is Wednesday. I usually film these on Wednesdays so I can, predict, a Thursday night football game. But today, a couple hours ago, breaking news out of the NBA. The Portland Trail Blazers are trading Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks to play alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. I did not see that coming. I am definitely not a sports writer or an insider, so maybe they did. But kind of the news we were getting was that Miami is where he wants to be, and that's probably still true. He probably still wanted to get to Miami, but that was really all we were hearing, is that he will only play for Miami. Portland is trying to work with Miami. And then we got this report earlier in the week that Toronto, the Raptors, actually came forth as one of the teams most likely to land Damian Lillard. And that kind of blew me away. And then we didn't hear anything for a couple days. And then all of a sudden, I get this notification on my phone. Damian Lillard is going to Milwaukee. He's teaming up with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And they are now the favorites to win the NBA Finals here in 2024. Let's break down this deal. I'll tell you what I think, and we'll break down this deal. First off, initial reaction, this sounds awesome. Damian Lillard pair up with Antetokounmpo and Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is still on the team. Here's the details of the trade, I will say. So Portland, the Trailblazers get Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, and Milwaukee's 2029 unprotected first-round pick, and a bunch of other picks. So it's a three-team trade. So Phoenix, Milwaukee, and Portland are all involved. The Phoenix Suns get Jusuf Nurkic, Grayson Allen, Nasir Little, and Keon Johnson. So kind of some big names moving around. DeAndre Ayton going to Portland, Nurkic going to Phoenix with Grayson Allen, and then, of course, Damian Lillard going to Milwaukee. I think this is potentially really good. Just on paper, it looks really good. So let's go check out the Milwaukee Bucks roster, and let's see, who they have on the team. So obviously they have Giannis Antetokounmpo. They have their brother Thanasis. They have Malik Beasley that they signed in the offseason. They still have Pat Connaughton, Jay Crowder, Goran Dragic. These are some depth players here. Guys that will, back up the real stars. Myers Leonard, Brooke Lopez, Robin Lopez, Bobby Portis, and then, of course, Chris Middleton, Damian Lillard, and Giannis Antetokounmpo, the big three. That's a pretty good roster right there. Obviously, things can still change, and it might shape out here a little bit. But that's pretty good roster right there. I think the Bucks definitely are a new threat in the East, as they've been these last couple of years. I shouldn't say new. They are the top dogs again, as they were a couple years ago when they won. And I think they're the team to beat. But as I've said before on this podcast, until I've seen them play, until they've proved it, I'm going to remain skeptical. So while this does look like an awesome blockbuster trade, we'll see how Damian Lillard meshes with Giannis. We'll see how they work. And we'll see if, this is what Dame wanted. It seems like Dame wanted Miami, and now he's in Milwaukee, so we'll see how that ends up. But we'll keep a close eye on that. Damian Lillard to the Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, let's talk about what everyone else is talking about. I sit down and watch ESPN, And it just blows me away. There's so many awesome stories in sports, and the only thing that they seem to care about is the fact that Taylor Swift was in attendance for the Kansas City Chiefs game against the Chicago Bears. So rumors are out there that she and Travis Kelce are dating. Now that she showed up to the game, it seems like they definitely have some sort of connection, some sort of bond. And I watched that game, at least the first half. It was a blowout, so they took it off TV and put in the Cardinals-Cowboys game. That's how bad the blowout was. And literally all Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen talked about was Taylor Swift. I mean, partially because the game was so boring. The Chiefs were up by 31 points at one point, and Justin Fields was looking like me out there, running around, like with his head cut off, doesn't know what he's doing. Matt Eberflus, the coach, is just picking his nose on the sideline, and the Bears are like, geez, we're the worst team in the league, no doubt. And it shows Taylor Swift up there going, ooh, getting close with Donna Kelce, Travis Kelce's mom, and just having a good old time. And then, of course, the Hollywood side of things, they find a way to give Travis Kelce the ball, and he scores, and Taylor Swift's, cheering. So now we have all these Swifties out there who are now interested in the NFL. And unfortunately for me and you and the rest of the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs just got a lot more popular. A couple years ago when the Kansas City Chiefs first were starting to get good with Patrick Mahomes, everyone was kind of jumping on the bandwagon. Everyone was saying, oh, we love the Kansas City Chiefs. They're kind of like these underdogs. They can take out Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's going to be so fun. However, I'm going to toot my horn on this, and this is something that I'll stand by. You can say I'm crazy. You can say I'm, prideful, full of myself. But I had the foresight. To see, man, this Patrick Mahomes guy is very talented. Andy Reid is a phenomenal coach. He's got weapons. Back then they had Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They had these good players. I said, man, this team's going to be good for years. This team is going to be the next Patriots dynasty. And you watch people who like the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, in about 3 or 4 years, I mean, when I made this prediction, it was about 3 years ago. So I was saying, about 5, 6 years. So we're getting to that point. You're going to hate the Kansas City Chiefs because they're going to be in the Super Bowl every single year with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. Every single year. They're going to be the team to beat, and they're going to be good no matter what. It's going to be hard to beat them. So now all these bandwagoners have been joined by a bunch of Swifties, and now the Kansas City Chiefs are receiving more publicity, more fans. Travis Kelce's jersey sales are through the roof. That's crazy. It's crazy. And partially I say that as a Broncos fan, having to play Kansas City twice a year, every year. But also I say that just as a general NFL fan. I knew a lot of people didn't like Tom Brady and the Patriots after they had won so many things. They wanted to see someone new. Well, guess what? That's the Kansas City Chiefs now. And you are going to see it. You made it happen. So come back here and see that I was right. So enough about that. If you want to hear more, literally every news source, everything out there is talking about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. So there's that. I want to share my predictions. I make predictions each week, and I've kept a running total. Last week, in week 3, I went 8 for 8, which is actually the worst I've ever done. I came out even. Overall, I'm 27 and 21. So, a little above 500. But last week I went 8 and 8. Last week I got a little ballsy and picked a couple upsets. I just picked the wrong upsets. Because if we look back on the week, we saw an upset where the Texans took out the Jaguars. The Jaguars looked terrible in that game. CJ Stroud was actually looking pretty good. I think I was maybe wrong about him when I was saying he wasn't doing anything in the first couple weeks. I thought the Commanders could take out the Bills. The Commanders literally laid an egg. Sam Howell is human, and the Bills are just a really strong team. Colts and Ravens, wow, Gardner Minshew magic. Didn't see that one coming. Same with the Cardinals taking out the Cowboys. Man, I am a Denver Broncos fan, but I always kind of admired the Cardinals because they had Larry Fitzgerald. And so I was definitely happy for them as they took out the Cowboys. And I thought the Buccaneers would take out the Eagles, but the Eagles are a good team. So, you roll the dice, you pick some upsets, you're just wrong. There's going to be upsets every single week, but this week I was definitely wrong. And I I will just mention this. Yeah, kudos to the Miami Dolphins for dropping 70 points on my Denver Broncos. Broncos have a lot of issues, and they'll need to figure out some stuff. But that Miami Dolphins team, and they're looking good. I'm excited to see a Dolphins-Bengals matchup, a Dolphins-Bills, Dolphins-Chiefs. I'm excited to see these heavyweights go head-to-head later on in the season. So let's just jump right into the picks. Week 4, we have some more awesome games. And we're starting it off Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime, Detroit Lions, and Green Bay Packers. I think the Lions win this game. I really like what I see from Jordan Love. I really like what I see from the Packers. They had that great comeback win against the Saints. But the Lions are a good team. I really do think the Lions will win this game. And I think I'm rooting for the Lions. I don't really care the outcome other than I'm picking the Lions to win. But it'd be cool. And I think the Packers kind of owned the Lions for a long time, so give me the Lions. And then we have this fun little thing where the Jaguars play in London every year because they've signed a contract. So they're going to London. They're playing the Falcons. This one is tough. This one's really tough because the Jaguars, they're supposedly good, but they just didn't have a really good week last week. Trevor Lawrence did not play well. Defense didn't really play well. Falcons, same thing, just didn't really have a good game. I like the Jaguars to win this one. I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think ultimately the Jaguars maybe win by a field goal. Give me the Jags. Rams at Colts. Ooh, this one should be fun. Gardner Minshew stepped in for the Colts, played very well. The Rams, too many turnovers from Matthew Stafford. I think the Colts win this one. Give me the home court advantage. Indianapolis, go Colts. Ravens and Browns. Ooh, I like the Browns in this one. Browns at home. Browns defense is scary good. If Deshaun Watson can put together a good offensive game, the Browns are a good team. Good, scary team. Give me the Browns. This week we have 2 matchups that feature essentially teams that haven't won. Defeated teams. We have the Vikings and the Panthers. I think the Vikings win this one. I think the Panthers are a team that drops to 0-4. Bryce Young is still questionable. But regardless, I think the Vikings finally get a win. They should have won that game against the Chargers. It was just unbelievable how they blew that one. So give me the Vikings. Bengals and Titans. I like the Bengals in this one. We finally saw the Bengals that we knew in that game against the Rams. They played a lot better on offense. Joe Mixon, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Give me the Bengals. Buccaneers and Saints. I like the Buccaneers in this one. They're going to bounce back. Baker Mayfield had a bad game. It's bound to happen. He's human. He's not an elite quarterback by any means. But the Saints are without Derek Carr, and I think that's the bottom line right there. Without Derek Carr, they're going to lose. Bucks. Dolphins and Bills. Here we go. Awesome matchup. I love to see this one. This game is in Buffalo. I do think the Dolphins win. I think this is a shootout, 42-35 maybe, with Tagovailoa throwing the last game-winning touchdown. So give me the Dolphins. There's definitely a game I will be watching. And then we have our other 0-3 matchup, the Denver Broncos and the Chicago Bears. 2 of the most struggling teams in the league right now, other than the Panthers. The Bears are just playing out terrible. And the Broncos, this defense is playing out terrible. And so ultimately what it comes down to, Russell Wilson's actually having a really good season. His best season, since he was in Seattle. And the offense is actually doing not that bad. The offense is doing pretty good. I think the Broncos win this one. And this might be the last time I actually pick the Broncos to win a game, just because I've seen them play. Sean Payton's not going to go 0-4. Give me the Broncos over the Bears. The Bears have a lot to figure out. And I think they struggle to go to 0-4. Go Broncos. Commanders and at Eagles. Give me the Eagles. I think this game will be closer than a lot of people think. The Commanders are a good team. They just did not show it last week. And might be a high-scoring game or a low-scoring game. Regardless, I think the Eagles win out or win this game. Steelers at Texans. I like the Texans in this one. Give me the Texans over the Steelers. Steelers have a really good defense, and they might disrupt C.J. Stroud. He hasn't had any turnovers yet. He's actually played pretty well. And Kenny Pickett is gotten better too, or played better this week. but I like the Texans. That's kind of my upset pick of the week. Give me the Texans. Raiders at Chargers. I like the Chargers in this one. The Chargers are a better team than their record shows. I mean, they probably should have lost last week, honestly. But they should have won their first 2 games, in my opinion. So give me the Chargers over the Raiders. The Raiders aren't really that good. Their win came against Denver, a dysfunctional Denver team. Jimmy Garoppolo's in concussion protocol, so who are they going to send out there? Brian Hoyer? Guy's got no hair, he's got no game. Give me the Chargers. Cardinals and 49ers. I love the way the Cardinals are playing. Really good defense, really good offense this last week, but they're playing the 49ers, so the 49ers are going to win this one. Patriots and Cowboys. I like the Cowboys in this one. Just straight up, go Cowboys. Not go Cowboys, but they're going to win. Chiefs and Jets Sunday night. Oh, it's going to be the Chiefs. Zach Wilson's going to... If Zach Wilson plays this might be his last game. Mark my words, this might be his last game. They signed Trevor Siemian to the practice squad. You know, anybody with a heartbeat could do better, is what I've heard ESPN analysts say. So Trevor Siemian, former Denver Bronco, former Saint, is going to, potentially take over Zach Wilson's job if he doesn't, step things up. And then Monday night is Seahawks and Giants. Give me the Seahawks. Giants are just frankly not as good as they were last year, not as lucky. So give me the Seahawks. Those are my picks for week 4. I'll let you know the record next week. Let me know your picks. Come on, comment down below, share with a friend. Let me know what you guys think. I know I talk heavy about the NFL, but hopefully, as the NBA season gets closer, we can talk more NBA. We can talk MLB postseason. We're getting close there. Maybe next week I might mention a few MLB things. But it should be fun. Thank you guys so much for listening. I'm going to sign off. Keep this under 20 minutes. Keep it nice, short, and sweet. But Fan Talk by me, Kyle Brenchley, YouTube, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Look me up. And please help me get to 100 subscribers in the next 3 days. That means share this with your friends, your grandmas, your boyfriends, your exes, your dogs, whatever it takes. But thank you guys. Have a great Wednesday. And we will see you guys next week on another edition of Fan Talk.